Hey, Mr. Lin here. I'm going to show you how to install CentOS 5. I'm running it in a virtual machine on a Mac right now, but this will show you how easy it is to walk through. I'm just going to do a basic installation. Yours might be a little bit different, but for the most part, I've downloaded the DVD ISO, and I'm just, if your computer will boot from DVD, then you'll see the same kind of things. It just starts like this automatically. Okay, so I'm going to recommend you test the media. I'm going to tab over to skip. Right now there's no mouse control yet. I'm going to skip because I know this is okay, and it takes time that I don't want to use in a demo, but you should definitely do that. Okay, so now you see I have a little bit of mouse control, and we're now looking at the installation screen for CentOS, so I'll just click Next. By default, it's going to pretty much be what I want it to be, English keyboard. Excuse me. And now we come to this part where it's going to look at your hard drives. Now I'm using a virtual disk, and you won't be, but as long as you're doing this on an old computer that you don't want anything on it, just by the way, that's what I recommend. Don't try doing this on a Windows computer if it's your first try. So you can just say yes. Encryption is good for security. You know what? Yeah. Excuse me, I won't get into that right now. Don't worry about it right now. You're probably, if you're just going to be experimenting and everything, there's a pretty reasonable chance that things will get messed up. So here's a last, I mean, as you go and play with things, it'll be all right through this. But if you're playing with it right, you'll probably break it, and that's okay, because you just install it again like this, and everything will be all right. Okay, so just it's last warning that I'm gonna delete everything and start over. Yeah, go ahead. This is just asking me about network setup. Again, the default settings, this is gonna be probably what works right away with whatever setup you have at home, if you're on a router or wireless or something like that. You wanna be sure you set this America, Los Angeles. Looks like I forgot the alphabet there. Okay, because the server, when it does things, it's like sending mails or running cron scripts. It's important that it's running at the actually the right time. Okay, so super important part: root password. The main account for Linux is going to be called root, but that you don't get to change. It's just root. So the password, make it something that you can remember. Make it something that if you got a little brother or sister, or maybe a big brother or sister who likes to mess with your stuff, make it something they're not going to guess. So I'm going to just do mine as, well, I won't tell you, that would be bad password security, wouldn't it? And 4 characters, come on, that's not even close, but I'm gonna get rid of this. It's just, again, for demonstration. Ah, see, mine was so lame it won't even let me do that. Okay. Fun. Okay. So here's where you get into how do you want this set up. I'll give you my recommendations. There are many other ways to do this. Again, my main goal here is to show you how easy it is to do this and to play around with it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the desktop as the default. Notice I'm not going to click on the server, although, let's see, I don't remember what this is. Virtualization, that's cool. Yeah, I'm not going to get into it right now. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. I can't quite remember what it is. I think I'm not going to do it. I can do all that later anyway. So by default, you can see I'm going for a minimum installation, not a maximum. I can always add stuff later, very similar to how in Windows you know add and remove programs, and I'll show you where that's at. All right, so just clicking next. Seem to be, there we go. Thought we were hung up for a minute. Now, this may be going faster than it would on your computer. Again, this is on a pretty new Mac. If you're using an older, like Pentium 2 or Pentium 3 or something like that, it might take a while. But it's worth the wait. Okay, so it looks like installation is wrapping up. I should have had a specific start time. I'd say that took about 20 minutes. The little counter said 15, but I think it was more like 20. And if you're on an older system, you know, again, like a 286, 386, or early Pentium 4 or Celeron or something, AMD, something like that, it might take 45 minutes to an hour to go through that process, but you don't have to do anything. You can walk away and it'll be waiting for you when you come back. So this is the normal startup that you'd see every time. This is IP6 tables. You see that failed. I don't believe I'm using IP6, so that shouldn't matter. Also, just a couple of things. I'm running this on a virtual system, and it's sharing the network connections on my Mac, so I honestly have no idea if I'm going to get network. Theoretically, I will. It's pretty good at just finding stuff and making it work. I've been very impressed. You might have heard people complain about Linux in the past, but it's a lot better today than it used to be. So again, as I'm going through here, very Microsoft-y if you've installed some flavor of Windows before. So we are firewalled, and this is what services are we going to allow through the firewall. I'm going to go ahead and turn on FTP. Let's go ahead and also allow www, and Samba is how you'll share if you have Windows computers on your home network. If you enable Samba, you can share files back and forth. So I think I'm going to do that again. Yeah, don't leave mail open. You have no reason to do that, and you can turn it on later if you want to. SE Linux is for security. It can cause a lot of trouble. I would leave it on enforcing, because we're not going to do anything that should run you into trouble, but if you do, keep in mind you can go back through other settings and set that to disabled. But everything like the school installation, it was all enabled, so I think that's fine. I think that's the current, oh wait, no, it's not even close to the current time. Okay, better figure that out. So it is the May 13th. It looks like right now it's 6:56. And this is, of course, military time. You can change that later. But, alright, that's pretty darn close to time. And it's going to ask you to create a user. Remember, root is already created. But, good security means having 2 accounts, and that you almost never log in with the administrator account. But you're running it at home. This is just part of the way this goes, so you'll have to make another username and password. I don't really care about this, but yeah. No, I didn't hear the sound, but remember, this is all virtual, and this is a server, by the way. I don't want it playing sound anyway, so I'm not going to do anything additional there. I'll just finish the installation. And now you see that we have a pretty nice graphic interface. I'm going to go ahead and just log in as root. So here's the screen right after you start up and you're in the administrator account. Notice how it looks a lot like Windows or Mac. You have a couple of quick launch things here. Here's the web browser. You could browse the computer if you like. This is a nice little file browser. Oh, actually, it works a little better if you right click on it and browse. Then it works a little bit more like the Windows My Computer. So if I look over here, you can see the file system, and the window looks a little different, but hopefully it makes sense. You know what you're looking at there. Alright, I'm going to do one more thing here, and then I'm going to end this video. The installation's done. That was pretty easy. I hope you saw it. I think it's actually a lot easier than installing Windows, because there's no codes or anything to enter. It's all you know, legitimate and open source. So I'm going to go to ApacheFriends.org, and I am going to download the latest version of XAMPP. I'm not going to do the beta versions, by the way. I'm just going to scroll down. XAMPP is what we want. And we want XAMPP for Linux. Here's the latest stable version, and by the way, in the next video I'll show you how to install this, but just follow the directions. They're very, very straightforward. But for the end of this video, I'm going to go ahead and download this and just save it to my desktop, because I'll be installing it in the next video. And that's I'm going to use XAMPP to give us FTP, MySQL, Apache Server, PHP, Perl, basically everything that we have running at school. Oh, notice, yeah, that it did set up my network card. in a way, I'm sort of surprised that it did, because again, this isn't just installing on a real computer somewhere, installing on a pretend computer that's really being emulated by the Mac software. So I'm impressed by Linux that and CentOS that it was actually able to figure out how to use my network card. Wireless, by the way, also.